parents, teachers, family and friends, and most importantly, boys and girls. Good evening and a very warm welcome on behalf of the Yoni Jesner Foundation to this 12th Yoni Jesner Awards ceremony. It's so exciting for us, Yoni's family, to be here this evening and to share the celebration of your achievements. I can hardly believe that a whole year has gone by, and here we are once again, so proudly gazing at a sea of new young faces, so many recipients of the Yoni Jesner Award this year. We welcome pupils from Hasmonean Girls. Let's hear a cheer. From Hasmo Boys. From Emmanuel College. From JCOS. Wow. From JFS. From King Solomon High School. And Yavne College. And I won't ask one very special person who is the one representative of Yavne Yeshiva High School from Manchester, Zach Leinhardt. We'll clap for you. There have been some big changes this year at the Yoni Jesner Foundation. Sam Clifford has joined us in January as our new director. She has many years of experience within the community, and under her excellent directorship, we've already begun to both raise our level of performance and widen our reach. The past 13 years has seen the Yoni Jesner Awards, which we provide in partnership with JLGB, become firmly established within the community, with numbers rising year on year. In February, we launched in King David High School and Yavne College in Manchester, and did a week's tour of nearly all the schools here in London, during which I had the wonderful opportunity to speak to well over 1,000 young people. It's our aim now to reach children attending non-Jewish schools through the Bar Mitzvah and Bat Mitzvah classes at their local shuls, and also to run the program in non-Jewish schools. Actually, we've already been accepted in our first non-Jewish school, where we plan to launch this September. Separately to all this, we award our Yoni Jesner scholarships annually, and this requires quite a full process of nomination, application, and interviews. And you'll be hearing more about this from Sam, about this year's outstanding scholar, Mia Gray, who we're very proud to welcome here and have here with us tonight, and who you'll also be meeting later this evening. Excuse me. There isn't time here to do more than just mention in passing our first involvement in organ donation education, which was held in Glasgow just last week. And you will soon be hearing all about our worldwide Sukkah social, remembering Yoni at the time of his yortzeit. Fundraising's now become an important part of our work if we're to continue perpetuating Yoni's legacy and influence. The Maccabi Community Fun Run is our first venture, and through that we've already begun to build up quite a network of support. It's not too late to sign up to walk or run on our behalf. Just go to the Maccabi Community Fun Run website and follow the instructions there and help us make this the most fantastic success. This year, I was lucky enough to spend the last few days of Pesach at a beautiful resort hotel in the hills overlooking the Kinneret. I was amazed to discover that the in-house rabbi for Pesach was Rabbi Stuart Wise from Ra'anana, someone whom I had often thought about because his son Ari was killed in the army just a few days after Yoni. The weather was just perfect, and as we walked through the beautiful garden paths to Shul, we could see not only straight across the Kinneret to Tiberia, but also to the towering mountains around Sfat to the north. It really was a most memorable few days. But for me, the message of the rabbi that morning is what really made it memorable for me. He told us how, during the week of Shiva for their son, a lady had come to him, heartbroken, because she and her husband had left Israel and returned to the US specifically to avoid their son going into the army, against their son's wishes, I should add, only to have this precious boy lose his life in a car crash in California. She was distraught, as she now understood too late that they should have stayed and allowed their son to serve in the army as he had wanted to, and that it was a mistake to think they could control his life. She turned to Rabbi Weiss and she asked, "What can I do?" The rabbi answered, "You absolutely cannot change what has happened. You can never bring back your dear son. But what you can do is ask yourself this question: what would your son want from you now?" These words flew like an arrow straight into my heart, and I asked myself, what would Yoni want me to do now? And I realized that even after 13 years, Yoni's message is just as strong today as it was on the day his young life and his future was so cruelly snatched away from him. Yoni's time here in this world may be over, but if I ask myself, what would Yoni want from me now? I think that as I stand here this evening, I have the answer. He would say, "Mum, these young people sitting here tonight, they're my future. They're the future I never had. If they can keep going in my place, if they can help bring more good into this world and care more, then I still live through them." Nothing can bring Yoni back, but his life's work has been handed on to you now, all you young people sitting here tonight. And I wonder how many of you will continue after having achieved your first Yoni Jesner Award. Will you continue Yoni's work into the years ahead? I wonder, will you walk away tonight with your award and say to yourself, thank goodness that's over? Or has completing the Yoni Jesner Award changed you and made you into someone who, like Yoni, has an awareness of others' needs in a way you might never have realized before? You know, Shavuot is all about promises, and it's coming up this week, as you know. Bnei Yisrael made a huge promise to Hashem at Har Sinai when they said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and then we'll listen. They promised to take on the entire keeping of the Torah. I think they were really courageous to make that promise, but as time told, it was a lot easier to make the promise than to keep it. How many times do we find that we've not kept our promises? And yet just look at what you've done this year, how you've kept the promise that you made at the beginning of the year when you began the Yoni Jesner Award, something that not everyone who started the award has managed to do, and how you've seen it through, right through to its completion. My challenge to you, my hope and my prayer is that you've grown with this task and that you're ready to promise once again to do more, to continue helping in the community, and to promise to do next year as you have done this year. This year you chose to take upon yourself the responsibility of doing something to help other people, and you should know that every single act of chesed, every single act of kindness that you do, no matter how small, makes a difference and touches someone else's life. You're giving of your own time, and you're giving it with your heart, and those hours of time and that caring from the heart are more precious than anything. That's why I'm so proud of you, and so proud to associate Yoni's name with this project, because this way of giving is truly what Yoni was all about. As one of our very first Yoni Jesner scholars said, this project, the Yoni Jesner Awards, allows you to touch people's lives and make a real difference, and in doing so, you allow the spirit of Yoni and the values he embodied to live through you. Keep his spirit alive among you, and you will grow through kindness. Thank you.